What's up, y'all? It's your boy, The Amazing King, coming to you live in the color, bringing that also amazing touch. And I want to welcome you back to the Get Ready for It podcast, season 3. Today is a day. We got a lot going on in the building. We're going to talk about some real stuff today. But I do want to go ahead and introduce to you my co-host.
What's up, y'all? Y'all already know it's Savage XL, and everyone knows a Savage does it better. I hope y'all are enjoying y'all day for the season 3.
How you been, Savage? How you?
You know, I'm actually doing well. I have to say that my energy has been off. I'll say like part of the past 2 months or so.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, we hope for this episode we can go ahead and uplift that energy
Let's hope
and
so.
talk about some real things. But we do have a special guest in the building. My Spanish Latino friend, my beautiful goddess, my goodness, my girl Jenny. Jenny, what's up?
Hey, how are you?
We're doing good. I want to appreciate you so much for taking time out of your life to come and take a seat at the table at the Get Ready for a podcast. We really appreciate that.
Of course.
And we're happy that you're here ready to join and talk about little things. You know, I want to go ahead and start this off with a smooth little conversation. Savage, you want to talk to the people for a little bit?
Well, absolutely. Well, because first off, before we even transition to that, are we not going to say what's going on? We're missing somebody.
Who?
We are missing someone.
Who we missing?
You up jumps the boogie. It's your boy KP.
Oh, that young man. Is he really missing, or has he taken a vacation?
You know what, King? I'm not even finna get into it with you right now. Ladies and gentlemen, as we already know, myself, Savage, has a XLXL segment. So if you have any emails that you want to send in to me, just keep in mind that we'll always remain 100% anonymous, and we will get to that. So let's get started. Keep in mind, there can be anything from the mild to the wild. All right, so we have, this is going to be a good one today. More money, more problems. Dear Savage XL, I work at a really good job, great benefits, work from home, great schedule. I work Monday through Thursday, off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and the pay is more than $18 an hour. But I hate working in call centers, and I'm stressed out because of the job and not knowing what I'm doing. I started back in February, but took an emergency leave after training due to the virus. When I got back to the job basically 2 months ago, I didn't remember any of the material. I did have a 3-day refresher, but that was not enough to be more confident in my job. I cry almost every work day, mostly because of the dreadful feeling of having to speak to people on the phone for more than 10 hours and not be able to do my job comfortably. I ask a lot of questions, sometimes ask it in different ways to get a better understanding, but I'm still not grasping it. I'm not sure if it's because of the way I learn or if I'm a hands-on person. If I watch someone do something, I try to do it myself a few times and I get it. Or if you explain something to me, you may have to explain it a different way before I understand. As I stated, I cry almost every day. I have lost a lot of weight from the stress. My anxiety is high and I've started getting panic attacks. I'm trying to stay at my job as the pay takes care of my bills and helps me getting through to my candle business, but it's affecting me emotionally, mentally, and physically. What would you do in my situation? XLXL. So just because we have a lady here on the show today, Jen, what would you do?
Me personally. Okay, so we all worked at a call center, right?
We did.
So I actually left the call center business because I just felt like it wasn't my happiness. It's not what I seen myself doing long term. So, I mean, I understand we have, we got priorities, we got bills to pay, but you really got to come down to what makes you happy at the end of the day.
I like that.
So for me personally, I'm a risk taker. I love, taking huge risks and challenging myself, pushing myself out of my comfort zone. So I would just jump out of that real quick, because if it's affecting my mental health, then I really wouldn't want to be there.
Okay.
So I would just say peace and keep going about my day and find another job, because I know I would.
Well, I don't think that I had to do too much advice on that one. I think Jen got some. I would actually leave. I wouldn't put my personal safety, my health at risk for any job. Because, of course, if something was to happen to you, they're going to replace you very quickly.
Right.
What I would do is probably do some soul searching. You say that you're trying to start your own candle business. Maybe you'll look into some ways you can get into that and make a little bit of money. But nothing is worth your happiness, as Jen said. So I think you might want to look for a different job. Yeah. King?
I didn't hear anything you said at all because your speech is so bad. I wasn't able to follow along. Can you translate to normal English and not thoughtiness speaking? Go ahead.
Considering the fact that the words that I use were regular words, you just don't understand
To
regular
whose opinion?
English. Well, obviously Jen understood. Thank you, Jen. I appreciate that.
That's the type of language you were trying to speak.
To who?
To her.
Jen, this is what we have to deal with on a daily basis.
Anyway,
you
thank you
understand
so
that.
much for giving your
You're more than welcome.
opinion
You're more than welcome.
and stuff like that. Anyway, to break the ice, because I thought that was going to be the icebreaker, and it was like the tip of the iceberg, not really the breaker.
Oh, well,
I'm going to break the ice completely and just do a quick, fun game. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Would You Rather.
it's not going to be fun, Jen.
I'm going to make a couple, ask you guys a couple questions, and then ask you guys, would you rather or would you not at all? Okay?
All right.
Would you rather be told to smile or calm down?
Ladies first.
Okay. Tell me to smile, all right? Because if you tell me to calm down, I'm going to just get mad.
Does that ever work for anybody when somebody says calm down?
I don't think it works for anyone.
No.
At all. I was literally finna pop Savage XL in his face today, and he was like, calm down. I was like, that's not going to work.
Exactly.
He said he was going to pop me in my face.
I completely said that.
Like, just look at
Did
it.
he really?
Cause harm to his whole facial structure. I can't really excuse it more than it is, but hopefully, plastic surgery with time.
I don't know
can
what word
repair.
you just used. That wasn't it.
Askew?
And again,
It is a skew, right?
it's
Excuse?
you didn't say it correctly. And again, I swat flies away all day. Anyway,
Would you smile or calm down, young man?
So honestly, neither. I don't want to be told what to do.
Okay, we're
I
going
feel
to
that.
ask you a question.
that.
This is
Yeah.
a game. We need you to answer one of those. This
Well,
is a cop-out, Jen.
No, it's not, because if someone told you to smile, it's like, oh, why you looking so funky? Smile.
Sir, can you please pick one?
I guess I'd be told
Wow.
to smile.
Good.
I'd rather be told to
Yeah.
smile
Yes,
than
nobody
to
wants to be told to
calm.
calm down when they're
Yeah.
mad.
Nobody want to be told anything. I mean, me personally.
Okay, another question. Would you rather be called sweetie or mama?
I'm going to let you answer this one now.
Savage?
I mean, sweetie, I guess I get called out all the time from older women, but I don't want to be called nobody damn mama. That don't.
I feel like that's the more that's the
Yeah.
Spanish thing they do.
Okay,
Mama.
so Jen,
Yeah.
what would you prefer to be called?
I feel like sweetie's dangerous. I feel like it can be used for a lot of shady type of nature.
Yeah, like I honestly think mama, like you call me mama, all right.
What about mom?
That too.
That's
Yeah,
it.
okay. Yeah,
It's in the same category, I
You
think.
have to understand. I remember one time my boss, I used to work for this guy, and anytime before he gets mad, he used to be like, sweetie. So he used to be all very sarcastic, and he was being shady. So sometimes when people, to just employees in general,
Yeah.
and he was a man, he used to be like, okay, sweetie. That's when I knew he was really getting mad. So if somebody comes up to me, we're talking, the conversation getting kind of aggressive, they be like, sweetie, or they be like, anything like that, I feel like, okay, you ready to bump.
But I think
You
it
ready-
depends
you
on
ready
who
to
it's
get
coming
there.
from. If it's an older woman, like an older lady in the gas station, oh, sweetie, I got that. Like you would.
I feel like they say sweetheart. I don't feel like they say sweetie.
No,
feel like-
I've been called sweetie. I mean, definitely by like I said, older women. I mean, they'll be like, oh, sweetie, I got that. Oh no, sweetie, you okay? Oh, thank you, sweetie,
Yeah.
for holding the door. Yeah, they got that. But yeah, nobody ever been that in that case. No, nobody ever could not say sweetie. No.
Okay.
And mama, do you want to be called mama?
I don't, but sweetie is one of the things that I have a personal dislike for. So I'm okay with it.
Asshole,
That wasn't one of the options.
I'm just saying, but that's more geared towards something like, okay, cool, all right,
Okay.
petty, okay, cool.
Anyway,
Just want to make sure.
would you rather have a strange man or woman lightly touch you on your knee or the small of your back?
The nape of my back.
Wait, what? You want a random person to be touching the back? You're like, we already know how that goes. How somebody
Mhm.
grabs you and they touch the very, very almost to your ass
The
crack.
nape. Yeah, the nape.
Why?
Well, because it's happened in the club. If you're trying to get by somebody, that's definitely happened. However, if somebody is touching you on the back of your knee, Why? Tell me why they would be touching your knee.
I feel like the back is more invasive than the knee.
First off, I'm gonna think you're a pedophile or you're crazy for touching the back of my knee. Like,
And I'm gonna think you a pedophile for touching damn near my ass crack. What are you talking about, kid?
King, listen.
Jenny.
If somebody walks up on you in public, let's just say you're in Walmart, and they walk up and they just touch the back of your knee.
Right. If they touched the back of my back, I would feel some type of way more probably. I would probably be like, if somebody touched my knee, I'd probably be like, oh, okay, you're weird. But if they touched my back up to my ass crack, like, oh, you're nasty. You're a pedophile. You trying to touch me? Or,
No, that could be intimate though.
Rape. I'm screaming help. Stranger danger.
But that could be, it could be something intimate. But keep in mind, if
from
a woman,
stranger, I don't want it to be from a stranger.
but maybe the female likes you. She walked up. Hey, you look kind of good. Thank you. I appreciate that. We didn't say no big burly man is finna come up.
But who said I'm gonna say a what if she a ugly, low down, dirty? Ugly.
Then, ma'am, thank you very much.
No,
Can you please
get
remove
your hands
hand?
off of me. I'm calling the police.
Why can't you say thank you?
Can Jeannie, what do you think? Am I wrong or is he wrong?
Okay, so I'm gonna have to agree with King on this because I'd rather have somebody touch my knee than touch the back of my.
That's an intimate part of
You're
your
right.
body.
Exactly.
But okay, so
That's
so
what your lover would do. They're like, oh, come on.
Like-
okay, so how hard are we talking about though? I think that's what I should ask.
There is no hardness. The question was very simple, cut dry. Either the back of the knee or the lower part of your back. You're disgusting.
What is disgusting about it? I just personally, I don't want nobody touching me on my legs like that. I feel like that's weird. That's really weird. Why you that low on me? Somebody gonna walk by and like.
So you're fine with somebody damn near touching your ass crack?
No, I did not say that. But what
so
I'm saying
you want
is,
somebody to touch your ass crack?
I did not say that either. You're putting words in my mouth. What I'm saying is, if somebody walked by and was like, "Oh, excuse me, Jen," I might touch her on the back of her back or the nape of her back. I'm not finna caress her. I'm not finna move her out my way.
There's so many other parts of your body you can touch to move somebody out the way.
But
you're giving an excuse, and the reason why he's giving an excuse because he's a nasty young man. He likes stuff like that. But let's go on to the next question. Would you rather your only mode of transportation be a donkey or a giraffe?
A giraffe.
So
a donkey.
Practically, I'm gonna say a jackass, but. If you pull up on a giraffe, I mean, you balling out. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna pull up on.
I don't think you can even really sit sturdy on a giraffe because they don't go like they're like this. No. I would say
you could put a
donkey.
saddle or something on them, like a horse. You can put a saddle.
But the way they're made, it goes like this.
They're big horses. They're just big horses with a long neck. So you'll put a saddle on them and probably you.
They got a little butt. They got a little, room.
So you saying giraffe too?
A giraffe.
Yeah.
I'm going to donkey. Y'all don't lost your damn mind.
See, your donkey gonna be old and rickety. It's gonna probably die. You probably.
It's not gonna be that far off the ground. It's safe distance from where I'm sitting to the. Y'all want to get like how tall giraffes are? You want to die?
Yeah.
You want to die?
Ain't nobody dying off no damn giraffe.
It can happen. Would you rather have to read out loud every word you read or sing everything you say out loud?
Read out loud.
I'm singing out loud because I listen.
Either or. Either or.
Either I
or.
can't sing for my life,
Jenny,
guys.
can you please tell him that it's pick one? It's not either or.
Okay, all right. So you would sing?
I would do either or, but I guess I would read out loud because I would get tired of trying to sing every single word. Or think about how much we read.
We do read a lot.
Yeah, like that would be way too much.
I would sing every single word.
So King, why don't you sing?
Okay. I'm gonna sing the next one.
Thank you very much, Jen. I was about to do that.
Would you rather have super sensitive taste or super sensitive hearing?
I do have the mechanism to mute you now, right? You know that, right?
Yeah.
You know when we first started the podcast, he said he was gonna mute me every time. You see where this is at, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Would you rather have super sensitive taste or super sensitive hearing?
I'm not gonna lie, I was thinking nasty when I read this question.
I mean, but don't look at him, Jenny. It's just like I try to tell him that we have guests that are not disgusting human beings like him. But I would prefer to have super sensitive taste because hearing, you would not be able to do anything. You're not going to be able to function. I can deal with me being like, oh my God, this chicken really tastes chickeny. You feel me? Or this lasagna really tastes lasagna. Like, you feel me? Or you cuss
the who?
Lasagna.
Lasagna lily?
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, that's not a real word. First off, I would probably do the sensitive. I said the sensitive hearing because I could probably deal with the cacophony of sound, but I kind of do like want sensitive taste too because you want to like taste what's in your food, like you know. I'm surprised you didn't say anything at all about that. No, don't. It's past. You missed your opportunity. Move on to the next one.
Okay. Okay. Would you rather never lose your phone again or never lose your keys again? I'm sorry. When I lose my keys, my mind goes like left because I always think somebody's going to get in my house. My door is not unlocked. I have food in there that I like to eat. I can't take that risk.
How you got food but you can't cook?
Your mama can't cook. Ooh, I'm sorry. Wait. Jenny, listen, I want to apologize.
Miss Williams, King said that.
I did, and I stand behind it. Listen, I'm playing. I'm playing because I don't need no problems. Jenny, may I ask you, what was your pick?
Never lose my phone.
For real?
Yes. My keys, all right. My phone.
So say say this, right? Say you're getting off work, right? You only thing you want to do is go home. You cannot find your keys.
I'll be pissed.
Say if you coming from work, right? You done had a long day and you reach in your pocket and you cannot find your keys to enter in your house.
Okay, you're right. Keys.
That's like the anger is like for me enormous.
Do you live alone?
Yes.
You do live alone. So let's just hypothetically say you lost your keys for maybe like an hour and then you found them in a place that you know they probably shouldn't be.
That's not the scenario.
I'm just asking
that's not the scenario, though.
Because she said she would lose she would go crazy if she lost her phone. So I'm just saying, like, in the thought of losing your keys and you find them in a position that you know you didn't left them in, would that like
that happens so many times, guys?
That doesn't freak you out at all? Like maybe somebody made a copy of your key.
No, it doesn't freak me out. But
for me, it's the keys. It's just like I said, so much goes through my mind. Like, who has my keys? And who's gonna get into my house? That's the first thing that comes.
First
to mind.
off, ain't nobody. Nobody's coming in your house. Nobody wants you.
There's good food and there's computers in there. I work from home, to be honest with you.
I don't have keys. I have a fob for my lock, so I don't have to worry about that. So it wouldn't work.
So you're saying phone, and Jenny, you saying phone too?
Yeah.
I'm definitely saying keys.
Yeah.
I guess y'all have never had that moment when y'all just like home from a long work, you cannot find your keys. You like looking at the door like, what is the leasing office closed? You can't get in it.
Is that when you left them in the Uber?
No. I was working. It was when I worked at our old job, and I was working the 3:30 to midnight shift. I got home, and I could not find my keys. The leasing office is closed.
Where were they?
They were inside the house.
So the door was open.
No, wait, no, I'm messing up the story. They were. I left them at work. I left them at work. Now, mind you, that's when I stayed in Temple Terrace. My old job was in Brandon. So picture, it's midnight. It's later than midnight, right? Because it takes you a little minute to get home.
Right.
The leasing office is closed. The only person I could call was the locksmith to come and open my door and pay him $250.
Sounds about right.
It's gonna always be the keys for me, homie.
That sounds about right.
I'm sorry. I just have a personal story. I guess you guys have more with phones than I do.
Well, because again, I always have a spare key. I always think ahead. So if anything,
but you carry both your spare keys on. I don't. Like my spare keys right now is at the house inside.
No. See, that's what I'm saying. My mom, I give her my spare key in case situations like that come up. Same thing with my cars. I give my parents my spare keys because of situations like that. So I don't have to worry about it. But as far as right now, I don't even have a key to my door. It's a fob. So if the fob is lost, I lock the fob and then just reorder another one.
It's the keys for me, America. Another one. Would you rather Would you rather find your true love or a suitcase full of $5 million inside?
$5 million.
We need to start making calls out, man.
Slow. Speak out. Say it again.
$5 million.
Oh, she said.
I want that suitcase.
Give me the 5.
I want the suitcase.
Give me the $5 million.
I'm gonna take the 5.
We take it. We snatching the $5 million.
I mean,
because after that, I'm quitting my job. I'm sorry. I don't care. I'm quitting my job.
See, that's where you will go wrong at.
$5
million you can't live off of.
You can't live off of it. But listen, you think I'm finna win $5 million and still want to work that same job? I'll be trying to be worried more like invest it or flip it or do something like that.
Right.
I'm quitting that job.
You couldn't flip nothing but a pancake.
But call it what you want to. That $5 million is getting flipped. You know I'm good at saving, so that I won't even probably spend half that money.
You know what?
I will live in my means.
I don't even have nothing to say about that. That you definitely are.
What about you said 5 million? You said 5 million. So we agreed on one. Okay. You don't agree?
Anybody who wouldn't?
Yeah, no. I would take the 5 million. I just feel like it's a little low, but yeah, I'll take the 5 million.
Okay. Would you rather sell all your possessions or sell one of your organs?
Possessions.
It's the clothes for me. You can have all of it.
But all your possessions.
All
I mean,
my
all
possessions.
everything.
Yes, every bit of it. You think I'm finna give an organ away?
So
Go ahead.
a kidney, $175,000.
Right. I'm good off that. Unless the only time I will like offer an organ, like if like something like a family member or something like you need it. Besides that, you can't have nothing in
I
here.
still wouldn't.
You still would?
I still wouldn't. It depends on which family member.
So your mom and dad.
My dad doesn't have my blood type.
If he did.
Oh yeah, I would do it for my dad.
What about mom? Because you just say mom.
Oh, my mom already knows how I feel about her, so yeah.
Okay. What about you? You have siblings, right?
My sister and brother, they would definitely get it. Mhm.
Okay. A distant cousin.
Which one?
The one that you like the most.
Possibly. It depends on what organ we're talking about now.
Would you give KP an organ?
If we had the same blood type, like, and it was dire because he has kids, I don't. So I mean, I could see he's younger than I am. I could probably it would be something I would think about.
You would say no. Jenny, what would you do? What would you do? Which one?
I'm gonna have to keep all my organs after, I cannot. You could take everything.
Yeah,
You can work
everything.
for it. That's what I'm saying. You can work back for
Like,
everything that
can
you
work,
had.
You can take everything,
Exactly. You could
but,
take everything from me. I'm gonna keep my
like
health.
to me, it's just like I
You
don't
do
know.
know there are people right now that are like giving their organ, not giving, but they're selling their organs.
We completely understand what they
No,
would
I'm
do.
just saying.
We're talking about Jenny and King, and we're saying we're keeping it. You can keep these cheap ass clothes. I mean, excuse me, these clothes.
That's what I'm saying. I would get rid of all my possessions. But I mean everything. Car, TV, home, all that would be gone.
It's all right. We'll start.
Yeah.
Start over.
Yep. All right.
Would you rather? This is the last one. Would you rather know the uncomfortable truth of the world or believe a comfortable lie? So saying like if you knew the truth about what's really going on in the world and all the secrets, or would you rather like want to know like the more
I want the truth
lie?
all day. I mean, I kind of already know the truth. So
If you found out the truth and you realize that there was this is just listen, America, listen to me. If you was like,
He
okay,
finna say something crazy.
You wouldn't know the truth and you found out that God wasn't real. That would shatter a
Listen
lot
to
of
me.
people.
hold on.
Honestly-
Oh, I'm sorry, Jim. My bad. Go ahead,
No,
please.
you're good.
It's
Go
a
ahead.
truth. If you like say like if you found out the truth of the world and somewhere in the truth of the world it was like there is no real God, how would you receive that information? This is a good question actually.
So if I have to answer myself, I wouldn't feel no kind of way because I mean, in the manner of speaking, I don't believe in religion anyway. I'm very spiritual, but I don't believe in religion.
Okay, so you're a heathen.
That is not what I said. Religion is fake, boo boo.
So you're the son of Satan or the devil?
You
Go ahead.
You can call it whatever you want.
Lucifer's son. They call
Whatever.
you Rufus.
You can call it whatever you want. Like I said, it wouldn't harm me. In no
Jenny,
kind
do
of way.
me a favor. Slide your seat a little over a little bit because we don't need none of that. Oh, because we're people of the Lamb, of the sheep, of the Holy Spirit.
Sheeple.
Jenny, same
Sheeple,
question.
that's what you're saying. You're sheeple.
Would
Okay.
All right. You would that shatter your life if you found out that God wasn't real?
No, it wouldn't.
Thank you, Jen.
It wouldn't. But
But watch how she words it though. Go ahead, teach him.
Watch how she words it. You didn't even give me a chance to explain. I just told you.
Listen, really, no, it wouldn't bother me so much. If anything, I would want to know the truth. But if you actually pick up the Bible, right? The Bible is one of like the most, like,
Read books.
most read books,
Mhm.
but it carries a lot of wisdom
Mm-hmm.
about life in general. So whoever created that book, I'ma still go by it, regardless if there's a God or not. At the end of the day, if you actually read it, it's just a guide
Yeah.
to live
How
your
to be-
life.
yeah,
and how to
exactly.
be a good person. So it wouldn't shatter me, but I would definitely want to know the truth.
King, would it shatter you, sir?
It would upset me and it would bother me. Probably because you have to come to terms with that. Like hearing that, you're like, oh wait, what? So what does happen? You know, that's be my next question. So what does happen then?
You mean after death?
Yeah. We're not gonna go into that depth right here. Wrong episode, wrong show.
No. So this is just foreshadowing. I really believe that we should actually have an episode about that. I really
But
just.
why would we have the devil himself on the episode? Why? Explain.
Everybody loves Savage. What you mean?
Some people like Satan too. So we're going to move on from this segment, okay? We're going to go over to the Forbes questions that will change your life. We're going to talk about self-awareness first, you guys. Let's get into the real gutter stuff here. What are you pretending not to know?
Ooh.
What are you pretending not to know? Jen, you go first.
We just talked about this topic, so I guess like the death, death, no. After COVID, after me, getting it, I was like, no, like, don't want to know,
Okay.
Don't really want to speak on it,
What about you?
What are you pretending not to know? What I truly want. Like what I truly want. Just more so is like, you know how you want something, but it's completely separate from what you're probably normally doing or what you're currently on a path to do. It's like you try to, take it out of your head. So I guess that's what I'm pretending not to know.
I'm pretending not to know that I'm really fat. I've been lying to myself for years about this, struggling, coming to terms, looking in the mirror like, wait, no, that's not really big. It's just like, you ate just a couple hours ago. That's why you're looking kind of plump there. So I'm pretending not to know that I am obese. We're still forever praying for my healing.
You're who?
Obese.
Can you spell that?
Huh? Obese.
You're adding a T onto it.
Obesity? What was it? I said obese.
Well, obesity, yes, but obese is not a word.
I said this is not a grammar class or a spelling class. I'm not in language arts or reading or mathematical or science.
But we have listeners who listen and probably like
don't take this course.
This is not a course. We have actual listeners.
What you're
with
saying
kids.
is like a spelling bee.
No, your actual grammar. No. I didn't. No. You're saying the word
evil,
wrong.
Speak no evil.
Obese. Obese. Say it with me now. Obese.
Obesity.
Carry on.
Why don't you do the things you know you should be doing? Go ahead, Savage. Start us. Why don't you do the things you know you should be doing?
You can tell he wrote these questions. Yeah.
I copied and pasted this. Keep going.
Whoever wrote them then got some.
It was Forbes.
Oh, so Forbes need to be fired.
That's why you're never going to be on Forbes. That's what.
I bet I will. I bet I will.
Okay, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Watch. So mine would be happiness and peace of mind, but letting everyday life get in the way.
So why don't you do the things you know you should be doing because you let life get in the way?
Let everyday life get in the way. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jenny, what about you?
I would say definitely procrastination.
Ooh, that's the one.
Yeah, procrastination. I think
procrastination is a real disease that should be medicated. Keep going.
Right. So it's just definitely something I think we all should work on, and not a lot is spoken about it, but I've been doing some research on procrastination because I like digging into like the psychology of it. And honestly, they say the best way to keep yourself out of procrastination is by adding something you want to do along with something you do on a daily. So let's say like you make up, you brush your teeth every morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or I would hope so. Yeah. So let's say you want to read a book. So, right after you brush your teeth, you make a note to read that book that you should be reading. And then you kind of like link it so your body can actually like process it, and then it becomes a routine. So it kind of gets you out of that, procrastination stage.
I would definitely put that as like my number 2 reason, because procrastination is really I feel like a disease. Yeah. It is definitely real, and I find myself being a really bad procrastinator on a lot of stuff, and I literally have to force myself to do stuff because I'm like, wait, no, if you don't do it now, you know that you're not going to do it. So that is definitely a good one.
Well, let me ask, King, when you say procrastinate, are we talking about procrastinating in the sense that you have the time, but you
Every
consciously
sense
choose?
of procrastination, any definition, any way you can
So
define it,
anyway.
any way you can put it in a
Okay.
sentence, that.
Okay, all right. So I mean, some people define it differently. That's why I asked. Okay.
For me, like I said, procrastination is definitely on the top. I think money definitely is always something, an issue on why people don't really do what they know they should be doing, because if you don't have the funds, everything costs. Anything you enjoy doing 9 times out of 10, you have to pay to be able to do it as well. So I think that's one of mine. And also, I call it adulting. Adulting is one of the main reasons why a lot of people don't do the things they can do, because you know that in the back of your mind that you have certain responsibilities. You know, certain jobs we may be working that we be like, we don't really like this job, but we know that we need the money in order to support our livelihood.
Right.
So that really stops us from doing things that we really want to do. So that's probably the biggest thing that I'd say. And I notice with myself is I'm like, I don't want to do this, but I know that on my other side of my mind, I'm like, okay, if you don't do this, you're going to be out in the streets, you're going to be struggling, and you're going to be living paycheck to paycheck on government assistance. And so
That
that's
was 1,
probably
2,
one.
3.
Huh?
That was your 1, 2, 3.
That was all mine, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
I mean, I definitely agree with all of them. Like I said, just letting the everyday life get in the way.
Okay. Forbes said happiness / peace of mind. What did you learn today, and who did you love, and what made you laugh? Also, it's like a 3-question. It's like a 3-way. I'm just reading the way they wrote it. They said, what did you learn today? Who did you love today? And what made you laugh today?
And we're particularly just talking about today.
Yeah, it says
Okay.
today, yes.
All right. Jen, I'll let you go first.
So what did I learn today?
Yeah, what did you learn today?
Ooh. So I'm a mom.
Okay.
So, you know, I'm going to talk as a parent. Sometimes we could yell, like for me, for example, like me today, right before I came here, my son was doing, you know, something he shouldn't. So I yelled at him, and then he started crying and running to his aunt. And I was like, all right, let me calm down. Let me just take a step back, you know? So I think what I learned today from that is just trying to put yourself in your kid's shoes, because, like, you know, I remember being a kid and getting yelled at and how that made me feel. So
Right.
sometimes, like, our parenting is always something we can work on. So, yeah, that's something I could say I learned today.
Okay. And who did you love today?
My son. My son.
And
And,
what made you laugh?
y'all,
Aw.
being on this podcast.
Oh,
Y'all are
okay.
so funny.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, sweetheart.
Yeah, I know looking at King can be a little funny. Okay, what about yours? What'd you learn today?
The question is supposed to go to you next.
Oh, me? Okay.
Yes.
What I learned today, honestly, stop taking life for granted. It's so short. It's so short.
Amen.
That's probably one of the biggest things I learned today. Who did I love? I'm going to say my family and my woman and my dog. And what made me laugh? You're going to be honest? Your face when you walk through that door.
Because it was a look of unhappiness.
It honestly, I had to chuckle to myself. I'm so serious.
It was a look of unhappiness and fed up. That was the look.
Because you have a tendency like you.
Yeah, I'm a Cancer. It's gonna show all on my face.
Yeah, you had the puckered mouth.
Yep,
like you
all
had
that.
a jawbreaker. Or
All
something.
that,
Yeah, let me
all
hear
that.
it. Ugh.
So mine, what I learned today is that you cannot control everything. That a lot of the times, a lot of things may happen that are out of your control, no matter how much you may plan for ahead of time.
So, are you going to do anything to combat those? I'm just curious.
I definitely am a self-reflector. Like I literally would go home and think about something that has happened a couple times in my life, and I would try my best to fix it. I'm never always saying that I'm going to be able to accomplish that, but I'm going to always try.
That day, or like months later,
Maybe days, maybe years. You know, life is forever evolving. You know, sometimes you can learn something when you were a kid and you're still dealing with it right now. So,
Lord forgive me. I'm sorry. Okay.
And who did I love today? I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I loved myself today. I think self-love is very important. If you're out there looking for love for somebody else, trust me, they ain't gonna give it to you. You're gonna be waiting for a long time.
You talking about Whack Hat?
No, not that, young man. That's
Oh.
not this episode.
I'm-
Watch your mouth.
I'm-
We can never have
Don't nobody even know what it means. I'm
normal
just saying.
guests around here.
Normal get.
Anyway,
So
and
just for everyone, he's saying that our guests are not ever normal. So I don't know what that means.
they're not.
That's what you just said. We can never have
No.
normal guests around
Yes, we
here.
don't have any normal guests. All of our guests are extraordinary, and special, and unique, and creative, and,
You know what?
and beautiful.
You know what, King? Just
That's
keep
how.
it
That's how
moving.
you recover from that. That's how you recover from
That's
that.
not what you meant.
And
so.
then, what made you laugh today? What made me laugh today?
Can't wait to hear this.
I don't know if it was like a really funny laugh or like a I'm mad laugh. I have, when I orchestrate the podcast, which I have pleasure doing, there's a lot of parts that are moving. There's a lot of people I have to try to make sure they come here on time or even show up at all. And I was just coming. I was like, but it wasn't a funny laugh. It was like, I'm low key mad. But that's life, and we move forward, and we pick ourselves up, and we pave it to the game and chalk it up to the game. Right now, I got like 25,000 check marks, but that's okay.
Oh man.
Next one. Should you be focused on today or tomorrow? Ooh, this is a good one.
Can I go first?
Go ahead, yeah.
Honestly, I'm gonna say both. Honestly, this is not one of those questions where I could choose either or. Seriously, I say both because in order to change as a person, like you said, you have to self-reflect on that day. There might have been something that went on that day that you really have to go home and really, really sit down and think about, get your thoughts together and assess. And then as far as thinking about tomorrow, you're going to learn how you can move on from what that situation may have caused, or what are you going to do better, if it was something bad that happened, or maybe something good might have happened and you want to find a way to increase, maybe that good fortune that you might have had for the following day. So I say both.
My mom, which is my senior quote, my mom used to say something to me growing up all the time, and I made sure it was my senior quote when I graduated. She used to always say, live for today, but always fight for tomorrow. So I do believe that you are correct, that you have to think about both, because, life is very, very, very short. And I want to use an example of one of my friends, and I want to definitely for a moment here, I want to shout out to the family of Kevin Thornton. Unfortunately, he's one of my high school friends, and he actually passed away yesterday. And, being in high school with somebody, you know how the high school life works. You are best friends or good friends in high school, and then when you get out of high school, you get disconnected. You really never see the person ever again or people again, or you want to communicate on social media. So that's what our relationship was. But when I found out he had passed away, it was like a revelation that, King, you are getting old, and some friends are getting sick. Some friends, it's time for them to go see the Maker. So it really made me realize how important it is for you to focus on today but live for tomorrow, because I'm 100% sure that he had plans for the next day. And to realize that those plans would never come true definitely made me have to do a lot of self-reflection and just realize that you got to live. So that's probably one of the most important things. What about you, Jenny?
I'm going to have to agree with both of you. I think we both,
Right.
focus on today and then focus on tomorrow, because you always have to self-reflect on your life, and you really can't do that if you don't do both. I mean, yes, you can reflect on what you did today, but you also have to plan for your next step tomorrow. So it's kind of hard not to do both because they go hand in hand.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm going to have to say both.
Okay, bet. And one more Forbes question. What will I only know about you after working together for a year? So if I were to say, which we all have worked with each other, what is something that we would learn about each other working with each other for 365 days, which is 1 year? What would somebody know about you? Somebody would know that, I was going to cuss.
I'll tell you one thing that people
What?
would know about King. He takes no vacation time. Like when I say none.
Yeah, I got like 96 hours. Of
He will
PTO
be
hours
he will
right
be dead at work and be talking about no. I'm not going to go home. So yeah, That's for you.
Well, that goes back to my I'll be honest with you, my adulting. I understand that certain things come up that are uncontrollable. Like if you get like in some of these jobs, honestly, like say if you get sick and you catch pneumonia, if you don't have a certain amount in my job, if you don't have a certain amount of hours, it's really tough. And they're going to be like, well, you don't have any of this. You should have saved it, just in case. They always say, well, you have to have 40 hours in what? It's just, so I always think of ahead, which is thinking for the future, to save it. So if something really happened where I cannot come to work, I can have 2 weeks off and not have to worry about it and still get paid for it. I can go to the doctor when I need to go to the doctor. I don't take off work for unnecessary things. Like, there's a lot of times I'll be sitting there, like, I don't want to do this today, but guess what I do? I sit there because I be like, I'm not finna use anything because something real may happen. So that's what it is. But that was I guess that's for me, so he gave me the one I'm going to use.
Well, of course. I mean, I felt that was a tidbit that most people wouldn't know, and I feel like that's a testament, like you said, to yourself. As far as for me, I'll probably say people would say I have a very creative mind. I think extremely big and outside the box. I've definitely been told that some of my, I guess, dreams or aspirations are too large, but that would be something that you'll probably know about me. Jen?
I think, well, working with both of you, right? So we were talking about, my previous work history before. I think you guys working with me for a whole year, you'd realize I'm a risk taker. I probably won't last in that job for more than 6 months. Like, I'll be jumping onto something new. I just love change. Like, I hate getting comfortable, right? And when I'm not happy, I just move on to the next, and I do something, different, and I, go for it. But, of course, obviously finances is important. I have a family I got to, maintain.
Right.
But no, I've been blessed to say, like, every position I've worked or every, career I've chosen has gotten me one step further to where I'm going to be.
A lot of people would actually disagree with you. And the only reason why I say that is because, a lot of people do not like change. But, it's unfortunate because a lot of people don't like change, but at the same time, you have to go through it. So, I mean, like, I think it's dope that you actually embrace it because a lot of people, they can't roll with the punches.
Yeah,
they don't know how to adapt.
I noticed that, especially with our workplaces, like, especially call centers.
Yeah.
People stay there for 10, 15, 20 years. Personally, like, I don't know. I just have this.
Can't do it.
Yeah, no, yeah. I can't. Like, the minute I feel like my mental health is at stake or I'm not happy, like, I'm just going to leave. Like, I don't care. I'm a risk taker. So I embrace change. I love change. I love trying, something new all the time. And I really encourage it for other people. It's just hard because, we come from a government that teaches us a system, right? So, we're taught since we're little, listen to mom and dad, then go to school, then graduate, go to college, do this. Like, I dropped out of college, and I'm not ashamed to say that. I'm actually happy, I'm happy with my life and the decisions I make, and I don't think that should be frowned upon. But we're in this, system that we're supposed to, like, follow what the government wants us to follow. And when you step out of that and you start realizing, like, there's a lot more in life that you could get, just by.
It's just that we're conditioned us. That's all it was. They're trying to make sure that we fit into their parameters.
I just want to take time to say something about Jenny. I want to say something that's really something I notice about you with getting to know you is that you're one of the most complimentary. Is that, I'm saying that right? Complimentary, like you're always giving people compliments, and you have never been like a hater. Like, I remember, like, we used to work at this job together and stuff like that, and all the females that she would see that was pretty, she would literally walk up to and be like, "Oh, these pretty girls, you look so good," like that. Like, always just being
uplifting
and not a hater. I see, like, sometimes a lot of females do not compliment other females. I don't know if it's like an ego thing or a confidence thing, but she would literally go out her way to tell a girl, "You look pretty, you look gorgeous, you look great," stuff like that. And that's something that I've noticed about her by knowing her for the time frame I know her for.
KP and I, we actually spoke about this, like, this is a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about how people, when they normally do that, it may look as if they're subjugating you. It's like they're directing their hate towards you, but honestly, it's because they don't like themselves, or they don't like something about themselves that you're doing. So for people to maybe think like, okay, say Jennifer walks up, she's like, hey, I love the way your hair, looks or whatever. She's literally giving you a compliment because she feels comfortable about herself. She just told you like, she loves everything about her life, how it's going and whatever. So a person who feels good at themselves can give those compliments to somebody else who maybe wouldn't return the favor. But I mean, like I said, just being here, like this is our first time maybe having an interaction. I can definitely get those vibes off you.
Yeah.
So yeah.
America, I just had to let you know that. Please make sure you check out my girl on every single social media platform and everything she do. Please go support. So I actually want to bring some more attention to my girl Jenny. I want you to speak directly in the mic because I want you to really educate people, or at least tell your story. You may not know this, America, but my girl is a survivor. Make a noise, make a buzzing. She is a survivor of COVID-19. Tell them how long you've been free of this COVID-19, and then just tell us your experience with that, so you can really inform these people that this is a serious thing that's going on.
So I want to say it's been about maybe 6 to 8 weeks that I've been COVID free. Being a survivor of that was crazy because, to be honest with you guys, like I did not picture myself here at this present moment today. Wow. So, it was a really tough situation, and I really don't wish that upon anybody. I mean, it was really a scary experience. I never thought an illness or a virus could do something like that, sit here and make you feel like your life is about to be taken just like that, But it is serious, so I'm going to just say, like, as far as my experience, the only thing that pushed me through, because, like, like I was telling you guys a little earlier, 2 weeks, I was straight. I didn't have, like, no major symptoms, nothing crazy. But I think it was, like, the 3rd and 4th week and the 5th week, that's when I started, like, going haywire. Like, it started attacking my heart, my brain, and I was just like, what's going on? And you really can't do anything. There's no medications. Like, when I would go to the hospital, I went to the hospital 6 times. And literally just the fact that a nurse or a doctor looks at you and you could tell, yes, they try to comfort you or they try to find a solution. They'll give you like ibuprofen or say, here's a patch for your pain. But when you actually go to a hospital room you go to the hospital room to, for them to help you. Right. And you look in the doctor's eyes and they're like, yeah, we'll give you this. But you could tell that they really can't do anything for you. That's scary. So after COVID, I just realized how important health is and that life is short. Life is really short. We're not guaranteed tomorrow. Unfortunately, this virus is, taking away people's lives, like regardless of what everybody is saying. Media tries to, spew out like different information about it, but like real deal, like if you want to educate yourself, the best way to go about it is to get involved in a group. For me, I'm in a long hauler group because after COVID, I was still having symptoms, and I still kind of do. It's not like symptoms of the virus, of course, but it's just like after effects. Like I get bruising all over my body. My arm or leg will go numb for no reason. Wow. My like there's just so much. Like I literally have a whole page of like symptoms, and I go to my doctors, and they're like, yeah, it could be the nerves or it could be this, but no one really like knows. And that's what's scary. Like coming across that.
How do people? I'm gonna ask you a couple questions so people can know. So you had COVID around almost 2 months, probably a little bit going into 3 months. Yeah. Even though you don't have it, and you've already told us you tested negative. Of course. Yeah. How do people still treat you though? Like, do they still like, oh, you had it, so I don't want to be around you at all? Like, how is that treatment? Can you explain that?
Honestly, so after I got sick, I told you guys I quit my job. I was just like, no, my health's not worth it. 'Cause I was selling cars before, but I can't. I'm so like adamant about COVID, and even though I fought the virus, right? I just know how serious it is, and I would never want to go through that again. So I've been quarantined at home this whole time since I got sick, and I don't really go out except, the other day I went out for the first time,
Right.
and I went to go get a drink. I treated myself, and I went out with a friend. But honestly, I mean, for me, the people I interact with, they haven't really, treated me differently, thank God. But then again, I see in the Facebook groups, like, people go back to their workplace after, they had COVID-19 and they recovered from it, and they get treated differently. So it makes somebody feel bad. And honestly, I think it should be treated as, like anybody else with like cancer, diabetes, or just some serious chronic illness, because it can turn into that. Like the things that this virus does is not normal. It's not your regular cold or flu. I wish it was, because I'd rather go through the flu than that. But I think a lot of people need to have more compassion towards those going through it, because really it does some crazy ass shit. And
I think it's always
it's just
sometimes
like-
maybe I think it's definitely fear, because if
Yeah.
if somebody, like for you say, even if you show somebody your paperwork, be like, listen, I'm negative, people would still look at you like, you had it. So would you rather me not have told you? Would you rather me have just kept
Right.
it a secret?
Right.
Right.
And that's what's like really it happens to people who like get diagnosed with any like illness or something like that. You could be like, I have a
Mhm.
clean bill of health, but people would be like, well, it's the fact that you even had it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they can't get it. Like they haven't been going out without any mask or taking up proper measures to stay safe. But it's when they know. I guess the unknown is better than knowing. That's how I kind of have pictured it or saw it in certain events that I've been through and saw people do. But I want to say I'm definitely glad that you got through that.
For
I want to
real.
let everybody know my girl is COVID-19 free. She does not have it. She had it. She doesn't have it anymore.
Right.
And there's a lot of people out there that's walking these streets right now, that's at your grocery store, at your daycare watching your kids, the cable man that comes in your house, your mailman, all that. They have had it. They no longer had it. So should be treated as equals. That's crazy to have to say it like that. They should be
Yes.
treated as equal.
Please.
And once again, thank you so much, Jenny, for coming and making sure you tell us your story about COVID-19. Guys, make sure you wear your mask, and please make sure you stay protected out there at all times. We're going to move over to another segment here. I like to call it story time. So I like this part where we just share maybe a story that we have experienced with one of the questions I'm going to ask you guys. So I just want to ask you guys, tell a story about your childhood. Tell a story about any story. It doesn't have to be dramatic, life-changing. It can be normal, plain as day. It could be your first day of kindergarten. Just a childhood story.
Sure, I guess I'll go first then.
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, mine, it actually was something kind of crazy that happened to me. So this was when I was maybe about 4 or 5. I recall sitting in the living room with my grandmother. She was ironing at the time. And I was playing with some toys, as a child. And I happened to look over near where the hallway was in my grandmother's home, and I seen like this little figure. And to this day, rest in peace, my grandmother, she's passed on. But I tell my mom about it. I used to tell my uncle, he's also passed away now. Like they know that I seen something. They just don't know what it is. So but it was so interesting. I don't know if it was like a gremlin or if it was like a leprechaun. Like, and I seen it like clearly. And the thing was, it darted around like the hall. So I went up to go run after it. And I tripped over the iron that my grandmother was ironing with, and it actually fell on my knee, and I still have the scar to this day. So like I don't know what it was, but ever since then I've always had like this this fascination with like paranormal and things like that. But yeah, that's one of my childhood stories.
Judy, do you have one?
So, are we doing childhood stories?
Yeah,
childhood
or
stories.
Just
Any type of childhood story you may have.
okay. I'm trying to think.
You're
y'all.
young. It was not
I
long
am.
ago.
Yeah, I have the worst memory. Like I do have childhood stories,
Right.
but
Well, I guess while you're thinking about one, I
I-
guess
yeah. Go ahead.
I will
Go
go.
ahead.
I remember a childhood story of when I used to go to the summer camp in Progress Village, stand up PV, and I used to have a lot of childhood memories of certain things and certain events of coming of age. I remember one time, so back in the day, which I still kind of am, but I was more goofy, like really, really, really goofy. Like I used to
Than now.
always, yeah, like it was like a lot worse. And I used to laugh a lot. So you know how you watch movies and then they were like summer camp movies and everybody got a little nickname like that the summer camp kids have invented.
Yours is Giggles.
No, can I finish? God, let me finish. So I thought that was fake, but no, that was definitely real. So me and my brother, we started this summer camp, and I was a person known to always be goofy and always laughing. So the second week of me being at this summer camp, they started calling me Chuckles. Chuckles.
You know what? I can see that too.
Like no, like I'm so like it was like everybody, like it was so it like spread, like it was like the coaches, the person who operate the building, the kids. They used to be this section where these older people used to come and eat. Everybody used to call me Chuck. They really thought at one point that was my real name. Like they did this game about guess the person's name, and the last question was guess my real name, and nobody could figure it out.
How did that make you feel?
No, it made me feel like I was popping, like because no, for real, I was like, I felt like I'm be honest, I feel like a legend, like because I was going through that summer camp for like I think honestly like 4 or 5 years. So once I got that name, every summer year, Chuckles, like legitly, like even like when the coach called me that, when the coach literally said, "Hey, Chuckles, stop," I was like, "What the?" heck is going on here? And then I just embraced it, and I was literally, my name was Chuckles.
I don't think. I mean, that's dope.
Like
that's
Chuckles,
dope.
like Chuckles the clown.
That's
like
dope.
One time we went to the roller skate park, and there was a clown named Chuckles the clown, and they all came back to tell me that I had a twin named Chuckles the clown.
So King, I'm going to say this. I understand that maybe at that point in your life
That's
that you
crazy.
have made it, but bro, that Chuckles is not a. It's not a nickname that any child would just choose. I mean, I'm glad it worked out for you,
Right.
but maybe in another child's life, Chuckles might not have went so well. So I mean,
What you mean? I think. What do you mean?
no,
I mean, we were kids. We weren't thinking that hard about it. It was like literally, I was like, it was one day I was laughing hysterical, and it was like, you just always laugh. Y'all just Chuckle. Like, call him Chuckles. We're gonna call you Chuckles now. And they legitimately
stuck.
called me that. And they called my brother Blade. Wanna know why?
he looked like Blade.
No, he had a part in his head. And they used to call my brother Blade.
See now, but hold on. That's a little bit more like,
But see, his died out. Mine stayed.
but because it's goofy. But I'm just saying though, like I don't.
Chuckles the clown. Lord Jesus. Shout out to Progress Village. Shout out to my childhood. Y'all really came through for a boy. Now, Jenny, we done gave you a little moment here. Was you able to think of anything before we move on to the next one?
She wasn't even thinking she would listen to your story.
No, it's okay. It's okay. We could go to. This is probably another one. Tell us a time when you had to get somebody together.
Like a straight one, like a
Straight neck moving, attitude going, tongue properly popping. Maybe a physical altercation happened. You had to get them together.
My ex.
Ooh.
Yeah, my ex.
You want to speak
Can
on it a
you-
little
can
bit?
you
Like, can you elaborate?
Ooh.
If you feel comfortable doing so.
Yeah, I can. So this was the progressive times, okay?
Ooh.
Okay.
This is where I was when I was at right before I was at I was at Progressive during this time. This was like a year ago, around like May. So yeah, no, I had to get him together, y'all. He put his hands on me.
Oh no.
when
That's
I
what
was
we. That's what
pregnant
we don't do.
That's what we don't
Yeah.
do.
Oh, you was pregnant too?
with his child.
Oh, damn, that's a debit. Damn,
Ooh.
debit.
So I
negative.
had to get him together, you know. But nah, and then after that, of course, I left him.
Which you
And-
definitely should. One more time. I respect it and I appreciate you because a lot of ladies, women don't have that strength to do that. So I'm glad that you were able to realize that you
Yes,
shouldn't be disrespected like that, and you got up and you left.
exactly.
Ladies know your worth.
Exactly. So so yeah, I had to get it together, and then I left him, and that was it.
You said you ain't look back, huh?
Nope.
At all.
Not at all, honey.
Do you have a time when you? Oh, I have a time I had to get somebody together.
When you was a child?
No, less than 30 minutes ago. Savage had disrespected me at another level. He was very dramatic. He had got up and left, slammed the door, ran out. I had to come chase out behind him, like, what's going on? He was like, I just feel like this. It was just like, but I had to break it down. And I had to put a little bass in my voice to make sure understanding got across. And now we're at an even playing field. And he know to respect me at all times. So that's the last person I had to get together, Savage XL.
These are all false claims. There's no validity behind them at all.
You know the studio has video recording, so they can see me getting you together.
Okay.
Okay.
I would love to see those recordings.
Okay, I'm gonna ask the man for the video course.
I hope they have audio too.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
You
hope they have
big
audio.
nasty wildebeest.
Mm.
What about you? Any experience?
Hey, some people love the beast, man. Anyway, my experience, I had to get somebody together on the basketball court. They tried to spit on me. That was back in 7th grade.
I mean, you are a spittable looking young man. The spit, spit.
Mm.
But then on the other see, you're disgusting. Next question. Tell us about your first job. Tell us about your first job.
Yeah, I was a sandwich artist.
You was?
What do you mean by sandwich orders? Like
I was working at Subway.
Oh, you was?
That's what's up. Hey, Subway was kind of difficult, like, to get into for certain people. That they couldn't
Not
do
like
math.
Publix.
Oh, that was actually my first job.
It was?
So, yeah, my first job was Publix. Yeah,
See, I could
and
never.
they hired me at 14.
They probably thought you was a 30-year-old man.
Yeah,
Well, you had a connection too.
They thought it's the Jenny. They went in
Yeah.
there. He's like, oh, this is a grown man. Go ahead, come through.
the Publix that I actually ended up working for, it was just being built and nobody had been inside yet, and they were looking for people, and they were like really short staffed. So with me having my age, I played basketball at the time. They were like, okay, well, this guy's he seems like he's mature enough to have a job. Plus, I had already been working with my dad anyway from his job. So I started working for Publix, and I think I probably had it for about a year. Before I had to stop working. But yeah, it was my first job. After that, I went to the movie theaters, and let me tell you, the movie theaters changed my life. Let's just put it that way.
So my first job was actually a job that I actually still have.
Wrangling alligators.
Huh?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
What?
Go ahead. Go.
It was better than your job working at the circus.
I made good money.
As
What
the
you talking
bearded
about?
woman.
Mm.
Right. So
you so lucky that Jen is here. I almost said something so nasty.
Right. So my first job, actually, guys, I still have. I've been employed at the location for 10 years.
And ain't moved up at all. He's still just a regular, locally employee.
Right. Yes, I am still a line cook. So I work at this location. I can't say the name because their whole thing about branding is they don't want to have any promotions. But I worked at this location. Still working at this location for 10 years. It was my first job. I got the job because I was in high school and I used to pass by the empty lot, right? So they was building it. And I told myself, that's going to be my first job. So my brother come home. He like, well, I got the job working now. Then my cousin came home. He's like, I got the job working now. So I was like, well, I want the job too. But nobody could take me to the interview because it was like last minute. Nobody had no gas money. So I made the decision, because it was the last day of interviews, I made the decision to walk. So if you are aware of Temple Terrace, I walked from King High School all the way to by the fairgrounds just to interview for a job that I did not know that I was going to get it all.
Wow.
So
Which way did you which way did you take? Did you go down Sly or did you go
I went down Sly. I walked I went down Sly.
So how did oh man, damn, you came all the way down 301 too?
Yeah.
How long did it take you?
I don't remember. It took me a long time though. And I was like, at one point I wanted to give up, but I didn't. And when I got there, he told me, hey, how you doing? You're the last person I'm going to interview today.
You was probably sweating, stank.
Listen, before I got there, I got myself together. Like, I went into they had a gas station before, so I got myself together and got there. Was straight. So when I got there, that was my first interview. Very nervous. Everybody knows my anxiety is really bad. And he just asked me like 3-4 questions. He said we'd be in contact. A week later, he called me back, said I got the job.
So I know you said your brother worked there and your cousin worked there. Do they still work there?
No, my brother left that. He was already in the military. I don't know why he got that job. He didn't need the job. My cousin got fired. And the way he got fired because he was lazy and sorry.
Walked out the door.
And he was like, they were thinking that I was going to get fired because he got fired, but I actually was working because that was my first job. So I was happy to have that I was in high school. I was pimping with that little chick. I bought my cap and gown, my graduation, all that stuff like that. I needed that job. I was only getting back in high school, probably like 300. It wasn't a lot, but to me back then it was a lot. So I definitely kept it, and I still have that job right now. And the reason, to answer your one question, I have not moved up because I always knew that wasn't a job that I wanted to do for life. And one of the managers who used to work there told me, he said, King, don't get stuck here. And I almost did get stuck there. Like I was working there for like 4 years before I decided to go get another job. So
the job that we were at.
Yeah, the job before. Yeah, the job we were at. Okay. So blessings on top of blessings.
So I just have to ask this because again, I mean, especially with that kind of job, because I know exactly what it is. What has made you continue to stay? Because again, I'm pretty sure it's not the money at this point. I mean, even though it could help towards whatever you're doing.
It definitely is the money. I want to say it's definitely the money. I would not be working that.
Is that like
money.
Your play money?
That's extra money. That's how I'm able to still like do stuff. And you people like, well, how do you like? That's why. But I only work there 2 days out the week, you guys, and I work there sometimes only from 8 to 1 p.m. When I work there, since I've been there for so long, I'm at a certain level where, as long as I'm not stealing, robbing the place, or like burning the food, I'm gonna always have a job because I'm that liked. I literally come in there, I don't speak to anybody. I say good morning, I do my job, and I leave. My manager just said that he's like, only thing you do is come in, you do your job, you're great. He said some other stuff that I can't say, but he said it was good things. And he was like, "You're great. You don't bother nobody, no drama. No, I'm here to get that money and go home. Like literally at 1 o'clock, I can be in mid flip or I can be making something. They already know King is gonna leave. I've done it multiple times. I just did it last week. It was like I was making something like, 1 o'clock, get up and leave. They don't say anything because they know that I put in my time and they know that
I was gonna come up there one time and fuck with you. I'm not gonna lie.
You would have came in, I would have been quiet. I would have said what's up and just kept pushing.
If you would have done that, I swear you probably would have never seen me make a scene like I would have done that day.
I understand. I would win it back. I would win it back.
I would have followed you. And
they would call the police.
Okay. On a black man like me?
Exactly. Yes. And you're beige.
Okay.
One last question before we wrap this up. Tell us about a time you realized you were old.
A time you realized you were old, or a time somebody called you
Same
old?
Thing. Sometimes.
No.
Maybe sometimes. No, I don't know. Remember? No. The same question. Tell us a time when you realized that you were old.
Okay. I'll take this one first. So I think you mean an adult.
Lord Jesus.
Because old is different. Anyway, I think the moment that I realized that I was an adult was when I had literally my own set of bills that had no association with my parents. Like they were not on any, and I was paying them all on my own. That was probably when I knew that I was an adult.
What about you, Jeannie?
I would say the time I had a child.
Ooh, okay.
When you like have a child, it's like a whole different experience, yeah, and it changes you.
That would definitely change you. Yeah, that would definitely change you.
When I realized I was old was when I had to start making my own doctor's appointments. It's a crazy feeling to be sitting there and you're a child, then you go from being a child to be like, yeah, what's your social, what's your health insurance, what's the group number? Like, wait, what? So that's one of the reasons why we're like, oh, you're like an adult. And another time is when I was sitting crisscross applesauce and I realized I can't do that no more. Knees bad. I damn near couldn't stand up. It was crazy. I was at work, so I was sitting crisscross because I had not got a desk yet. So I was sitting down. I was like, I could do this. When I got up,
your knees are locked up.
What? You could swear I was like a 90-year-old man. And that's when I realized, like, what is it? What is it? I was like, what is it? Like, oh, you old. You almost 30. That's what it is.
The crazy
you can't be doing
part
those
is
things
I can envision your ass doing that. Like,
right. Right. It was horrible. I didn't make it.
You was probably making no noises like,
It was like, I was like, where is that pain coming from? I don't know where it's coming from. But guys, once again, thank you so much for joining us at the Get Ready For It podcast, season 3. So it's your boy, The Amazing King, coming to you live and in color, bringing that oh so amazing touch. And I want to thank you so much for listening to the Get Ready For It podcast. Make sure you follow me at AmazingIam_ on Instagram, King Rio on Facebook. Also, make sure you follow the podcast page at Ready For It _1. Also, we have a Patreon that has started for season 3. So make sure you check that out. You can check that out on any link on the episodes that are on the social media platforms. Savage, go ahead and send them out.
All right, it's your boy Savage Excel. Everyone loves a Savage. You can catch me on IG at Keys_Savage XL. Please be on the lookout for everything else that I have coming out. Elevate Mentality is in the works. And just because our brother KP is not here with us, I'm going to pull a page out of his book. If you want to follow him on IG, please go to either King or my page and go look for K Parker and just add him. And Jen?
Where can they find you at on your social media platforms?
Okay, so IG is j.e.n.y.c. So it's Jenny C. That's it. Jenny C. Just dots in the middle. Dots in between.
Y'all heard of Jenny C on IG.
Thank you. And that has been an episode, you guys. Get ready for it.